then are we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll go. Let's see. Everybody got their Audacity open?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
All right. Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh, wait. Hold on.
All right.
Some shit.
Is someone doing like laundry in the
Yeah.
background?
Robbie's got some
Crap.
laundry.
Yeah, I'll go turn that off.
All right.
Hold on.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's the problem. What happened there?
Oh,
My Audacity dropped out my my recording. It used the default mic. So stop your recording and then erase it, and we'll start over.
Okay, stopping.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Okay, I'm here.
All right. Ready again?
So yeah, erase your recording, and we're gonna start over.
Okay. How do I erase this? I've never.
So just stop it and then close it out. Yeah.
If you stop it, there's a little X in the top corner of the actual audio track. You can just delete.
Okay.
Which I accidentally hit record again, so now I need to delete that one. Okay.
All right. Ready?
No.
3.
Hold on. Audacity's being stupid. Hold on.
My bad. I did this. I brought it upon myself.
All right. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. Part 2.
Nice. That's better. My audio levels are better now.
Good. All right. We're ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, and welcome to That Pixel Life. This is episode 51 for May 14th is our recording date, 2019. And this week we are going to cover, someone on this podcast is going to be very happy because we're going to be covering the possible return of NCAA. We're also going to be talking about the Final Fantasy trailer that dropped. I may or may not be apologizing. I wouldn't hold your breath too long on that. E3 starring Netflix. That's going to be something we're going to talk about. We also got a game to talk about, and we all went and saw Detective Pikachu, so we're going to have some thoughts on that. So let's hang around, stick around, hang out, pull up a chair, join us. It's going to be fun to do all these things. With me, as always, I've got Mr. Shannon Moore.
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, all right. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm going to try something new tonight. I guess in honor of the Detective Pikachu movie, I am just going to speak my name when I'm talking about things over and over again. See how that goes for a podcast medium.
Well, it ought to be interesting.
Shannon.
And along with Shannon is Mr. Robert Stonepole.
Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing, dude?
Dude, I'm doing very well. I've got Golden State playoffs to my right. I get to laugh at the Atlanta Hawks for just doing the most Hawk thing ever when they traded away Luka Doncic last year, and now they're paying the dividends for it. Just really quick, might be the funniest tweet I've seen all year or all week. The Hawks were one number off from winning the lottery. The winning numbers were 7, 4, 12, 13. The Hawks had 3, 7, 12, 13.
Nice.
But no, man, I'm doing great.
Also, the Cavaliers lost LeBron James, and the Lakers got a better draft pick than them. So, the lottery's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Zion Williamson that he's going to have to go to New Orleans.
Who's just ruined AD. So
it seems like NBA purgatory, but it's, you know what? It's proof that it's not rigged. That's all I got to say. That is proof to me that the NBA draft is not rigged. So, hey, in the meantime, the Warriors have a second preseason, also called the Western Conference Finals, apparently. So that's nice.
So does anybody feel bad for Steph's brother in all of this? I mean, like, it just kind of feels.
No, just because he's like, no offense to him, but he's kind of irrelevant. Like, he's not even close I think
Well-
I think he beat Steph in the 3-point contest this year, and that's the closest he's ever come to beating him. So
I think it's really cute that, Steph brought his brother to work. It's nice. It's adorable.
Damn.
Jesus. Curry already has 30 points tonight, and he's 8 for 13 from 3, and it's the third quarter. So
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be a fast 4 games.
what is it? The beginning of Mighty Ducks 2, when they're facing off against that Jamaica team, they're like, Alderman's like, it's over, man. But then Jamaica comes back and scores like 5 goals. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, if you've had enough of our sports talk, and how could you? But if you'd like to head on over to thatpixellife.com to find our podcast in every format you choose, you can follow us at Twitter at thatpixellife. We've been getting a little more active over there. Get on that Facebook group. Just search That Pixel Life on Facebook and pop in there. Send us a request. We'll get you added right in. Lots of good conversation going on there. I know some people on there have been looking for people that play Apex Legends. So if you want to get on there and say, hey, I play, get on with me. That's a place to do it. In the meantime, we also have a Patreon. If you'd like to toss us a buck, just to keep the lights on. Appreciate it. Always appreciate our Patreon supporters. And in the meantime, let's just get on to what we're getting on to. I know that Robbie found some news today that he was incredibly excited about, and he damn near demanded that I make it the first thing we talk about today. So here we are.
I would not have been on tonight if you had.
Apparently, Electronic Arts, aka EA, has put a team together to work with the NC2A to explore likeness and team name rights and all that sorts of things for a potential new game. Robbie, your thoughts?
Okay, so let me be clear, just so we're all on the same page. At New Year's, I was eating dinner with a buddy of mine. His name is Mike Woods, and he asked me, he's like, Robbie, what game do you think you've put the most time into? And at the time, I kind of gave a vast array of answers. I was like, Diablo 2, maybe a FIFA game here or there. But I was dumb because it's been 5 years since I've had one in my life. The answer is 100% college football, the EA NCAA college football game. I can tell you straight up that I've put thousands of hours into those games. Thousands of hours. Through the recruiting, through bringing myself or whoever, my friends, to Middle Tennessee State and leading them to a national title against Alabama. Just the slew of running the Nebraska-Maryland I offense just because I can. The slew of games that I've played in that world, and the coaches I've created, the teams I've created, the recruiting was so freaking good in that game. I have bought a PS3 probably 3 different times. And the 2 times before it was because they had been broken. But I've bought a PS3 3 times, and then just so I could go back and play NCAA 2014 or 15, whatever, because there are people who some heroes just don't wear. Some heroes don't wear capes. There is a group of guys who spend all summer going through the magazines that come out for college football, and they upload the rosters of every team across the country into that game.
That's amazing.
With the stats and everything. And so
think of the time it would take to do that.
Yes. There was a story that came out on from Sports Illustrated last year that talked about these guys and how long it takes them, and how they don't watch TV, they don't really watch movies. What they do in their spare time when they're not hanging out with their wives is they work on this. And it was really awesome, But no, so basically, like Zach said, the NCAA has put together a working group to discuss the prospect of allowing athletes to profit off their name, image, likeness, rights, and thought. Another working group that will lead, blah, blah, blah. Okay, So what this essentially means for people that don't know, I'm going to try to be very quick because I know you don't care about sports. Some of y'all don't, at least. What this means, the NCAA, because of a kid from freaking San Diego State a few years ago, threw a fit because his likeness was in a video game and he wanted to get paid for it. And so what that did was, and no one even knew who he was. So then that started another group of like 5 or 6 kids who are nobodies. It was never a big name college player. All said, "Hey, we're suing you because you put our likeness in a video game." And listen, that doesn't matter. So what happened is that EA or NCAA was like, you know what? We're done. You can't use kids' likeness in games anymore because that means we'll have to pay them. And also the school rights, none of that crap or anything like that at all. So EA, no one has been able to make a college football game. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it all boils down to these kids deserve to be paid, and the NC2A's entire pyramid is built on the foundation of not paying the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like their entire business model is we don't pay people, and so they cut it off because it was just a Pandora's box. It would be a way legally for everyone to start acting on.
Yes,
if they continued.
Like the college, like I'm in about 2 weeks, me and a buddy are going to be starting a college football podcast, and this is going to be the number one story that we start with because we're going to talk about the ramifications of it in the college football world. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But what this basically means is that this is a giant step closer to us getting a NCAA college football game. And I think one of the biggest reasons why they're doing this and why EA is pushing for this to happen is because college football has never brought in more money than it's bringing in right now. And the college football playoff this upcoming year. I don't know if you saw this, Zach, but this upcoming Madden, whenever you're doing the Road to Glory player thing, your player will play for one of the 10 teams that are available that gave up that made a deal with EA to have their school in there, and you'll create a player and he will play in the college football playoff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. And so this is a really big deal. Like I know Robbie's passionate about freaking everything, but this is the game I want back more than any other game. Like Zach, and I think to a degree
I always love these games more than Madden itself. There was just so much more to do in them. There was so many more variables and options that really
by yourself there's so much more to do.
Like as a single player game, it was way more entertaining than any of the Madden games. And I always loved the thing, even though it was gimmicky as hell, you could take a player from a redshirt freshman all the way through 4 years and bring him into Madden. I thought it was super cool. Like I thought it was just the dumbest thing, but it was also super rad at the same time. That like you because you, as you well know, you spend so much time building this character that like to be able to then progress it to another venue was just you didn't have to give it up, and it was a really neat touch,
And just like the community, what I was just talking about, like the community of NCAA was so dedicated, like. But I know these guys have been doing it without the game really being online for 4 years, but every year there were groups of people who would upload rosters of the upcoming team just so people could play with the names of actual players. And so if they allow this to happen and players can get rightfully paid for their likeness and their autographs and stuff like that, this is going to happen. But don't be surprised if that game doesn't cost a little bit more money than $60.
Oh, sure.
Like that would and also Zach, I know no one knows about this because I don't ever talk about this with anybody, but there is a small developer, I cannot freaking remember the developer's name, but they are creating a college football game that's supposed to come out next year, and actually what's his name is in it, Boston College quarterback, Doug Flutie. No, I would know Matty Ice. Okay, but no, it's like Doug Flutie's something college football, and what they're doing is it's essentially Little Big Planet, but with football, meaning that you can create everything and anything of every aspect of this game, whether it's jerseys, whether it's stadiums, whether it's leagues, playoffs. Like you can create everything in this world, and that's the way, like that's the loop around right now but the game looks so bad. Like the animation, the gameplay looks stupid. But anyway, this is a really big deal. I think that I'm not saying that I'm not going to wear tinfoil hat, but I wonder if EA's bad press for the last few years with microtransactions was just kind of like, hey, let's get in the good graces of these sports dudes. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the first question that popped into my head. Maybe it's just I'm so jaded, but it was like, how is EA going to mess this up? Like, what are they going to do? Like, how are they going to ruin it for everybody in this particular situation? I mean,
I don't think they will. That's the secret sauce for EA is their sports games. That's why they're the giant they are, is the sports games, So for me, I think EA has probably been behind the scenes trying to get college football back because it was like number 2 behind Madden as far as their best sellers until FIFA went on its run internationally. But I mean, college football was domestically right there with Madden, like year after year after year. So I'm sure they've been, banging away behind the scenes to try to make it happen.
So who had it? Did like 2K have it before it just became
So I cannot remember the years. Do not quote me on the years, but I do know that in 2002, actually 2001, 2K released the game NFL 2K2. They charged only $20 for it.
And it was amazing.
And it was an amazing game. It's probably still one of the greatest football games ever.
T.O. on the cover. It was
T.O. on the cover. You could do a first-person view
yeah.
of your player. It was so dope. And at that time, the Falcons had work done, and so like I would just get work done and just run out of the backfield. But anyway, right after that happened, EA was just like, oh hell no, and they went straight to the NFL and they made an exclusive rights deal with the NFL. On Dreamcast, and 2K also did do an NCAA game, which I have on Dreamcast right over here. In NFL or NCAA 2001, 2K1, 2K2, 2K1, and it has Drew Brees on the cover when he was at Purdue. And after that game came out, they did the same thing with the NCAA. So
yeah,
sorry, Shannon, that was a long-winded answer. But
no, it's fine. You took me on a long walk for a short drink of water. It's fine.
You're welcome.
I like
you were thirsty by the time you got there.
I am. I'm quenched. My thirst is quenched.
But yeah, man, this really excites me. This is like, Jedi game, NCAA, they're right there.
And EA is just gonna walk that fine line for you, right?
They're like, you know what, this Robbie guy kind of hates us. Let's make 2019 a good year.
Well, and another thing that excites Robbie and Shannon is Final Fantasy VII for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
And at the State of Play, we were all treated to an updated Final Fantasy remaster trailer.
I'm gonna Tebow pose this whole time.
Well, you should take the pose of failure. It's fine.
Ouch.
How's that Met career going anyway? So the
I guess he's still playing, so that's a success in itself.
Yeah, AAA. So we were treated to the new trailer. We got updated graphics, and there was gameplay involved. It wasn't just cinematics. I will admit, it looks very pretty. The game looked very pretty, which is one of the main issues I have going back to Final Fantasy VII these days. Is graphically that game is hard to look at. Mm-hmm. The original release. And so it was nice to see. And I saw a bunch of stills people put up of, same shots from the 2017 trailer and 17, 16, I forget.
2015.
2015, yeah. It's been a while. The 2015 trailer and the modern one. And yeah, it's definitely better. It definitely looks really cool.
The combat looks good too.
I just have no goddamn faith it's ever going to come out. I just don't. It ain't coming out this year. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think it comes out until the next gen console comes out.
Yeah. I think this would be an epic release game for the
Oh,
PS5.
dude, that would be so awesome if it came out with the PlayStation 5 as a bundled copy. I would be happy.
And I won't lie. Like, okay, so yes, super
And
excited.
real quick, they didn't give any clarity if it's still episodic.
They did afterwards, and that's what I was about.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to complain about.
Yeah,
is
but I mean, in the main thing, they kind of were just like, "Here, Final Fantasy VII, you guys all love this, yay!" And then with offering no clarity to the big question of like, "So is this thing still episodic or not?" And they're like, "Yeah, but you guys love Final Fantasy." And then after behind the scenes, by the way, it's still totally episodic. You know,
But this time they were ambiguous about how many episodes. Before it was like 3, but this time he would not confirm how many. And so, look, I would like to think that I think it's absolutely stupid that they're trying to make this episodic and make me believe that it should be episodic in a world where Witcher 3 exists. But because their whole complaint is that it's too big. It's too big of a game to be on just one game, which is just asinine to me. But anyway, the fact that they said it was going to be episodic, I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer. But if they do just 2, if they'll just cut it to 2 episodes, I can live with that a little bit better than
if they
3.
if they change it from 3, it's going to 4. Like it ain't going to 2, because if it's going to go to 2, you might as well bring it to 1. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I just it is really hard for me, even with my fandom of that game, to wrap my head around paying $180
or 240.
yeah. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around. So right now I'm just going to bask in the positivity of it. That it did look gorgeous. The combat looked really fun and fluid. And then with Eris coming on screen, like with her music, like that was just beautiful. And Sephiroth, like, of course. But I imagine E3 is going to have more information because apparently they're bringing a lot of stuff. Square is bringing a lot of stuff to E3 this year.
Yeah, and I'm more concerned about the combat because I wasn't a fan of the combat from Final Fantasy 15.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was all right, but I just feel in my older age now that button combos and I'm more of a masher now than I was a skilled button pusher. So now it's just I don't know how I'm going to like that. I really want to play the game, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a try when it comes out. But I kind of want like a hybrid mix between like the real time and the turn based, just to kind of maybe help me with some of my spell management or some of my other like getting the materia out or doing some of the summons, things like that. But yeah, other than that, I loved everything I saw about it. I don't understand why so many people hate Barrett's voice, but yeah, I guess if you're gonna gripe about something and you want it to be small, I mean that's one thing. But
yeah, I don't want to hear anyone complain about voice acting when people were not giving freaking Hope any bullcrap in Final Fantasy 13 when he had the most annoying voice, and I had to go effing 120 hours with that a-hole. Like I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to hear that. But no, I think this is really cool. I'm glad that they haven't ditched it. I mean, Zach's point still holds true. We have no confirmation of, or even an indication of when it's going to come out. The only thing that we do have, which does not tell everything, but it does offer some kind of hint. It's pre-orderable. You can pre-order it at Best Buy and GameStop now. And
sure, they'll be happy to take your money for a product that doesn't exist.
Well, like I said, I know that doesn't give the whole story, but a lot of times, at least when I was working at GameStop, the game wasn't real to us until we could pre-order it, and you can pre-order it now. So I don't know what that means. We'll see. Hopefully, E3 will get more information. I mean, but at this point, Final Fantasy VII's release date is about as ambiguous as that Avengers game. So, What's up, Square? Which, by the way, we're less than a month away from E3.
Well, and speaking of ambiguous games based on movie properties in E3, it came out recently that Netflix is going to be having a major presence either at the E3 Coliseum area, where they're expected to debut the Stranger Things game that is supposed to be coming out July 4th, I believe. But they've left the door open for a lot of other things. Now, it's been rumored that they're working on a bunch of video game properties for the service, shows and shorts and movies, animated and otherwise. I know Shannon had mentioned like they're supposed to be working on a Resident Evil property, amongst other things. But I'm wondering, do you think they're going to be dropping any more Netflix series games out there? Like they've got a Stranger Things one coming, which kind of looks like an old school style, point and click adventure type thing. From the few little stills that have been released. I mean, I'd be down for an Umbrella Academy game. I'd be all about that.
They should make a Witcher game.
Yeah,
Have they ever? Does that game exist?
I wonder if there's a European developer that would work on that. Since the books came from the European side of things.
No, that's a good point, Zach. This is just off the top of my head. What if they made a women's wrestling game from Glow?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'd be down with a Glow game, sure. But it's also one of those things where is this Netflix trying to branch out like as a kind of a bit of a safety net, license out some properties and do that thing just to get some more cash flow. Because at this point, I really don't think they'd be trying to build through like gaming,
I think they're just trying to find a market that not a lot of people have had success in as far as creating content. So, with Disney Plus taking away a lot of the Marvel properties, so they're, they don't have Daredevil, Punisher, like Iron Fist. I mean, they probably can get Iron Fist for cheap, but there's just, they're losing a lot of their material to other, production houses that are taking back all their stuff and creating their own apps.
Sure.
So, they in that regard, they're gonna have to find ways to stay relevant. And I think that this is just one of those attempts to find an untapped cache that they can, make a quick buck off of. I mean, if they come out with like Stranger Things is awesome, and they came out with a Resident Evil game or a Resident Evil series that was, just as, that had the
if it's just good.
It's good. I mean, like I think that would be something that would put them on the map. And then, where do you go from there? I mean,
and they do have some history with that, with like the Castlevania animated series that they put out there, which for some
I know. We love it and you hate it.
I can't stand it. It's the worst.
Just also look at Voltron, like like this Witcher series, which we'll probably see at E3. Like, who's to say what's going on there?
I would say,
the cast looks great.
I'd say that's a great bet. Actually, is drop a full trailer for Witcher at E3. That'd probably be a great call. I just think Netflix may just be they're kind of like the Epic right now. They're just like, we can do this, like let's just see how this goes. Yeah, let's just throw a couple $100 million around and see what happens.
Yeah, we're good for it.
To
maybe don't give like.
Did he cut off? Okay, Shannon, you're still here with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm just waiting for him to come back.
Yeah,
I need to see if I can find it.
As a comedian.
Oh,
okay.
Hold on,
Zach.
Yeah.
You gotta start over that. Pretty much that whole segment you cut out.
I cut out. All right.
Yeah.
Where do you have any idea what I was saying? Or?
You were responding to me, what I had just said.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good call. Like, I see Netflix dropping a full trailer for Witcher at E3, and I think it's a decent thing for them to throw some money around. Like don't give a stand-up comedian 5 specials and make a game instead. It's like by the way, if you don't have a stand-up special on Netflix, you failed as a comedian because
Man, they are leaning hardcore on Anthony Jeselnik.
When is there going to be wasn't Microsoft going to do like a Halo TV
apparently
series?
that's still in development.
Okay, because I was thinking maybe Netflix will take it.
Speaking of, I know
All
I know we did not pre-talk about this, that this was going to be on the list, but I don't know if y'all saw, but the Mortal Kombat movie is going to be produced by James Wan, and it got greenlit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, reboot, a Mortal Kombat reboot. Which I stand by the first game. The first movie is not terrible. Like,
No.
it's 90s terrible, but it's crap.
Oh
My gosh.
Oh wait, it's fine. And where was it at? What was it? 2844.
Did it cut out again?
Yeah, you dropped off hard.
What is happening?
Y'all got a storm going on up there?
No, it's gonna rain for the next week apparently out here.
Yeah. Let me cut some stuff. So, all right. Well, should I keep going?
Yeah. Let me just make some notes. This is not gonna make editing fun for me.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's okay. It's not.
Zach, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to drop.
Son of a bitch!
You can't hear me?
All right.
Do I keep my Audacity running though?
Yes, keep Audacity running, but just drop out of the session.
Okay, I'll be back in just a second.
All right.
Okay. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, Shannon.
No, dude, it's nobody's fault. It's technology, man. It's how it is.
It's how it is, yo. It's how it is.
It might just not be as perfect as it was before.
Okay, I'm good.
And you're back.
Do y'all
All right.
want to just start over that Mortal Kombat segment? That'll make it easier?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I guess 3, 2, 1. So guys, I don't know if y'all heard, but this news dropped about 4 hours ago. But James Wan is producing, and the new Mortal Kombat reboot movie got greenlit today.
Oh, nice.
I don't hate the original.
Oh no, it's a total guilty pleasure of mine. Dude.
Yeah, nobody hates that movie. And like if you have a Jock Jam CD from like the last 30 years, it's always on.
Mortal Kombat. When Johnny Cage does a split and punches Goro in the nuts, like what's up? The coolest. I remember being a kid and seeing the trailer for that movie, and just when Scorpion's hand opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, it was so dope. And Sub-Zero is my favorite character, and so seeing him, how he dies like a little punk though, like that the water getting thrown at him, like come on, bro. Treating him like he's Mr. Freeze out there. But no, James Wan, known for the Conjuring series, did Aquaman.
Did you do a Fast and Furious?
He did.
Yeah.
No, that's Jeremy Lin.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no. Jeremy Lin's a basketball player.
Yeah, Jeremy Lin.
I think you may be right, sir. I think he did the last 2. I think he did the last 2. But no, this is really cool news. I mean, after we talk about Detective Pikachu, which we'll talk about in depth here in a little bit, I'm starting to, and Tomb Raider last year, I'm starting to hate the idea of video game movies just a little bit less and less.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if y'all saw Tomb Raider last year, but I didn't think it was awful. I
never saw it.
It's on the HBO Go app right now for if you're a subscriber. So I think I'm going to check that out. Actually, I was looking at it the other day and I decided to watch a Mission Impossible movie instead. So
look
Yeah,
at
you did.
you.
Which one did you watch?
Fallout.
All right, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know
All
how
right.
you feel.
All right.
Have you watched the first one yet?
The first one will stick with me for a long time.
Did you watch 3?
No, I haven't watched the third one yet.
Oh my god.
I've got 1, 2, and Fallout done.
Well, it's a good thing you watched the movie after 3 because 3 will make you not want to watch any of the others. So.
Zach, you hate 3?
Is 3 the one with the masks, or is that 2?
Well, all of them have masks.
That's why they all suck.
Number 3 is the Philip Seymour Hoffman is the villain one.
Okay, that one was all right. That one was
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. But
All right, I took us on a tirade. I'm sorry.
no, sorry. But no, Mortal Kombat movie coming out, God knows when. But apparently they're going to start shooting actually later this year. So
Any-
Oh,
Are there
do
any
we-
details on it? Do we
yeah,
know?
like casting or anything? Or?
hold on, I will. I'll.
In the interim, I had a question for both of you. Have either one of you started watching Agents of Shield again? So I just saw that that's back, and I didn't realize it until it was on my DVR, and I'm like, wait, new episode of Agents of Shield? What?
Dude, it's been so long. Like that what was it? The Ada
The storyline.
Yeah, dude, that storyline was great.
the Ghost Rider half of the season.
Yeah,
was
Ghost
so
Rider
dope
was
too.
so good.
Yeah, he
Like-
was good. Yeah, I like that whole thing. Like they really, for a while there, that series was kind of like you just had to kind of stick with it because you knew they were
Mhm.
building up to something. But yeah, it got good. It got real good, and then it took
Well,
like a long
yeah.
hiatus. So
I had fundamental problems with the fact that they just could not let Ward go.
Yeah.
That like
Mhm.
by season 3, whenever they made him Hive for the second half of that season, I was like, this is so dumb. But then they bounced back like the freaking Warriors,
Yeah.
and they gave us season 4, which was half Ghost Rider, half Ada, and I think them splitting up the seasons like that was brilliant.
Mhm.
But to answer your question, Zach, I've not watched season 5 yet, the one in space. But
That's
Lisa and I
actually
will-
really good too. Like
I
Yeah.
heard-
that
I
was
heard it
shockingly
was.
good too.
yeah, that was real good. That was a good series.
Because that, you know what, the thing with that season is the whole time actually it's kind of a thing with the show. For the first 5 episodes or so, you're like, this is the dumbest thing. This is the stupidest thing. But there's a slow burn, and then, like the old saying, a battleship turns slowly. And by the time they get it turned around, you are so all in, and it's because of all the dumb crap they laid out before it. Like next thing you know, like the going up to the finale of that, I was so in, totally bought in. Like, yep, I'm all of it. Just give me all of this. It was, yeah. So I'm pretty hyped for this next one.
I have information on Mortal Kombat.
All
It is going to be produced by James Wan. It is going to be directed by a first-time filmmaker in Simon McCoy, who and the entire movie will be filmed in Australia.
Hmm.
Where
Where everything
I
tries to kill you anyway.
I was
So
gonna say,
well,
it's a place
I
on
mean, it's
Earth
probably
that-
gonna be all the other realm, other world. What is it? It's Nether realm and the other. I'm trying to think of the lore of this game. I can't remember what the 2 worlds are called. Outer realm, outer world. I don't know. Whatever the hell. There's 1,300 games. Screw them. But no, I mean, this is cool.
people are just like screaming into their iPhone right now,
Yeah.
like, God damn it, Robbie.
It's okay. I know NetherRealm is a legit thing in this world. I do know that. And it's Liu Kang, like who shoots ice, right?
Lightning.
Right. I remember when they did Babalities. I remember
Yes.
that. Is that still a thing?
I used to love Liu Kang's one fatality where he would drop a Mortal Kombat cabinet on people. Like I thought that one was really cool.
I mean, I don't know what anyone's talking about. The best Mortal Kombat game is the one that had chess in it. So
Yes.
I think it was Deadly Alliance. But no, that's just really cool, and I'm sorry that I kept us going. I know we have another news story to get to.
I don't know. It was the only other news story I wanted to talk about was this weekend. A in-game had its first major challenger for its throne, and it was Detective Pikachu that came in at a very close second place at the box office. And we have all seen it. I went Sunday. I think Shannon went Saturday.
Mhm.
I know Robbie probably has seen it 3 times because that's what he does.
I saw it Friday at 11 a.m. I texted or called my friend at 8 a.m. on Friday. I was like, "Hey man, I know this is random and short notice, and you hate that, but you want to go see Detective Pikachu?" He's like, "Robbie, I want nothing more. I don't want to do anything else than go see Detective Pikachu." at 11."
He's like, I haven't slept. I've been waiting for this text.
So we went and saw it. Yeah, I got some cards. They gave us some cards.
Nice,
That was
nice.
cool. That was cool.
I did not get cards. They were out of cards by Sunday. So
Damn. What cards did you get, Robbie? I mean,
Uh,
are they all the
Detect-
same cards?
Well, no. I got Detective Pikachu, which that is the one card everyone got, and then I got that stupid Pokemon that heals at the end of the movie. I'm just gonna say that because we're not talking about spoilers yet.
Yeah. Okay.
The Pikachu that heals at the end of the movie. But my buddy Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, he got Pikachu and he got I think he got Mewtwo.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you son of a bi. I mean, look, the GOAT is Squirtle, and I would have been very happy with Squirtle. But
no, man. I mean, he wasn't even in the movie for that long, dude.
he was putting out fires.
You know what? I do have to say, for someone that very recently has watched a bunch of the Pokemon anime, because my son has discovered it on Netflix. I thought it was pretty rad to have a Squirtle Squad fire department callback in the middle of that movie. I thought it was pretty legit. I was like, okay,
I cannot wait to talk about this movie in a minute. I like in depth. I cannot wait.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean,
I just want to warn everybody. Let's do some music or whatever and say, hey, spoilers.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna cut in some Pokemon music for you. Just
nice.
For this one. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well, then you want me to announce it right now that we're about to do spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Guys, just so y'all know, we were about to talk about Detective Pikachu in full, unclothed, unclassified. And we are going to spoil the crap out of this movie as three grown men of 30 years or older with kids are going to talk about a movie that their kids should have been paying attention to.
And mine was.
Mine was not because he was not there. Just full warning. Okay. All right. So I have to.
Mine wasn't because he wasn't there. It's so good.
I have to ask this question first. First and foremost, how do you feel about the movie, just overall?
My general vibe of the movie was I liked it. I thought it was well done. It's real dumb at a bunch of parts, like, and that's when I have to remind myself I'm watching a movie for children.
Yes.
You know, but I thought the look of the Pokemon was good. I liked the world they built out. I thought they handled some pretty heavy topics pretty well for a kid's movie. And it's funny. It straddles the line between, like, that could have been a very serious movie if they really wanted to make some directing choices and scripting choices. That fully could have been an adult, like, drama movie that happened to have Pokemon in it.
You say that this is a kid's movie, but I was sitting there looking at it thinking this would maybe scare a lot of kids. Like the A-Palms in the beginning, like getting all like crazy on that R formula.
And
I mean, like it. I mean, Charizard. I mean, like he's like. I mean, they're all.
Now, see, so my barometer is I took my 5-year-old to go see it because he was all about that life, and yeah, the A-Palms were a little intense for him, but like the Charizard battle scene, he was all about. He was like, that is so cool. It also the drug use, or the type R, which is essentially a drug they're giving Pokemon to make them wild out in this movie, that raised some questions from my kid afterwards that I wasn't quite prepared to go into, you know, like why that's a bad thing and why I mean, the movie makes it pretty evident why it's a bad thing, but he had a lot of like, so what was that? What is that? Like, are things like that out there? And I have to be like, cocaine's a hell of a drug, kid. But it was just so yeah, like there are some moments like that. If you have younger children, you maybe want to be aware of, but they don't really hammer it in. It just is a thing that's there, and you know, kids notice everything. So, but as far as intensities, like the Greninja scene was more got under his skin more than the A-Palm scene. And I think that was more because the A-Palm scene was almost like a zombie, like like 28 Days Later attack type of
Mhm.
the way it was directed and played out, where the Greninja scene was more like there's a monster in your house and it's coming for you, and so that I think creeped him out more, where the Apom thing was just like, whoa, that was scary, but like the other thing was like, should I be looking over my shoulder? Are there Greninjas? What's going on here? So yeah, like that as far as that goes, I think that was how he handled it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I thought the movie overall was good. I just thought it kind of fell into that they used all the funny parts in the trailer for me. I think is where it was at. Like, I mean, there were some moments where I laughed or chuckled, but like for the most part, it just seemed like it wasn't as funny as I was hoping it was going to be. I mean, you have a guy like Ryan Reynolds whose delivery of comedic lines is on par. Like, I mean, he's probably one of the funniest guys out there, and I don't know if it's just because he's Deadpool or what, but like the way he's recently started to deliver his comedic performances, I really enjoy, and I was kind of disappointed that that Detective Pikachu, with the direction that they took him, wasn't more more hilarious to me. So I was a little disappointed there. But
yeah, I will agree with you that it wasn't the comedy I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Like, I really went into it expecting more of a comedy adventure movie, and it's more of a drama that has some funny moments.
Mhm.
And yeah, that is definitely a switch I wasn't expecting.
Mhm. Robbie,
Well-
what do you think?
Well, okay. So first of all, let me help you with one of your problems, and it's called the Robbie's one trailer rule. And
Mm.
since 2012 with Avengers, I've watched one trailer for every movie that I'm going to go see, and it is yet to fail me. So just keep that in mind. Second of all, I thought Detective Pikachu was probably one of the best, if not the best, video game movies we've seen.
Mhm.
And
I
look,
agree.
I know that's kind of a low bar, and I get that, but I think just the creativity of the use of Pokemon throughout this movie made it the best for me. Just the Squirtle Squad being
Mhm.
freaking working for the fire department, like the Machamp being directing traffic, just the use of them it wasn't like one of the jokes that I always make about the Street Fighter movie is it's kind of like Guile's walking down the street and he's like, oh, hey, there's Chun-Li. Hey, Chun-Li, you want to go with me on an adventure? Oh, hey, there's Vega. Let's fight. Like it's just a hodgepodge of cameos back to back. I did not feel that was the case here. I feel like they truly did try to respect the Pokemon in the world, and yes, there's a ton of them in the background, but when they show you a Pokemon on purpose, there is a purpose there, if that makes sense. Like the fact that the Greninjas are in there, and they're not just like they have a purpose. I thought it was just really well done. Justice Smith, I thought was really good. I thought he, as we've learned from the Star Wars prequels, it is not very easy to act on screen with just CGI. And most of that film, he is acting with a CGI tennis ball, probably. And
I did think they made a smart choice having some of the Pokemon be puppets. Like, you could tell Snubbull was a puppet. There's some scenes where Psyduck and Pikachu are both puppets. Like, you can tell, and I thought those were smart choices, because it does the Jurassic Park thing of it holds up so much better than CGI when half of it's actually really there.
I just realized, guys, we never talked about Rage 2.
Oh, we can get back to it. It's fine.
Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, just wanted to make sure that we did get back because I want to hear your thoughts on it.
And we also didn't talk about that goddamn Godzilla trailer I saw before Pikachu, which, whoo, boy!
Is there a better movie to see in theater than that movie?
Nope.
It's like Pacific Rim 1 and 2. Like, it is just made.
If you would have told me Godzilla King of Monsters was showing in the next theater over and I could go right then, my kid and I were getting up and I was going to see Godzilla.
So I'm the only one here that thought that was like a laughable trailer. Like, I didn't find anything about that awesome at all.
Did we see the same trailer?
I think we did. I don't understand. You got Godzilla is all of a sudden like a good bad guy that is just out there like wrecking face
He's always
from
been
all the
that.
other.
No,
No,
the thing,
he's always been like a menace that nobody can. He's always been like the strongest kaiju out there,
Excuse
and
me.
nobody is able to tame
As the
him or get him
podcast
to do anything.
Godzilla historian, because I have seen every Godzilla movie ever made.
Well, okay, so maybe you just like watching
Every-
bad movies.
All the 60s, all the 70s versions, all the 80s try to remakes. I've seen them all. I've seen dudes' hands show up in their puppets because it's such poor quality. I've seen these films, sir. And Godzilla is a good bad guy. Like he has always been that. He has always been a weapon for the humans to use while also being a menace. And how I will stab you with a freaking crusty
I mean,
butter knife.
they gave him like this lightning attack thing now. Like, I mean, come on, like what?
He had
he's
that in the
always
last
just-
movie.
What
he's
you mean the
built
horrible
from-
one in 2000?
he's built
No,
from
no.
nuclear radiation. Like,
Dude, no, the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
that came out like 3 years ago.
Which
Bryan
one? Was, I don't
Cranston
know.
and
Wasn't that movie garbage too?
It was very slow, very
the problem with that one that they seem to have corrected is there was actually very little Godzilla in that
Yeah,
movie.
he's only like 12 minutes in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, that's the main problem with that movie. And by the way, Shannon, since you brought up, you seem determined to rip open these stitches and pour salt in these wounds. People say the most disappointed they were in a movie theater in 1998 was when Phantom Menace came out. I will say no, sir. No. The most disappointed I was in a movie theater was that Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. I was so hyped. I was so hyped for that movie. You have no idea how hyped I was for that movie.
That Puff
And-
Daddy album that came out with it. Yeah, buddy, I remember.
And then they tried to set it up for a sequel with like the baby
Yeah.
Godzillas.
Yeah,
Like,
just-
the
That's
worst.
so bad. Godzilla King of the Monsters will have a very watered down plot, and that is fine for me because I just want to see gorgeous monsters fight on a huge screen in IMAX.
yeah, it's Pacific Rim. Like I just want that.
Yeah.
Like give me big
Thank
robots
you,
and
Guillermo del Toro, for bringing back these huge monster films. And Mothra looks freaking gorgeous. And I always pronounce the three-headed dragon's name wrong. With a G. It's not Gamora. It's something
No,
like
it's not
that. Though.
Gamora.
No, it's not
Gojira.
Gamora, but it's something like that. But like the way it looks so good. It looks so good. But back to Detective
Yeah,
Pikachu,
sorry.
please.
Sorry, I
No,
sidetracked
it's okay.
hardcore because I had to geek out on Godzilla for a second. And
I also look that because of the way the film worked, we're not going to get a direct sequel the way that people would think they normally would. Like we're not going to get another movie with Justice Smith and little Pikachu talking in a movie together again. And I thought it was just brilliant how they came up with a reason why he could talk to Pikachu.
yeah,
I just thought that was
and
really
it's a
well done.
reason. It's a reason that I figured out though.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, as soon as I saw the neural interface helmet in the science lab, I'm like, oh, I bet that's it. And there was like the little hint where he's like, well, if your dad was here, I bet he'd say blah, 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 blah. Like there was that whole thing. And I was just like, And then as soon as the Mewtwo takeover happened, I went like, oh yeah, okay, I got it. There it is. But, there were parts of that were just really dumb. Like I know we just talked kaiju, but like the whole Torterra garden sequence was why was that even in the movie? Like that was just
like that had to be like for freaking. That's one of those James Cameron 3D scenes,
Yeah.
like just to show that we can do it.
And it was also one of those things like I got it a minute into it and it kept going for another like 12. It's like
it was a really long scene.
I was like, why are they still falling? Why are they still jumping? Like why? Like good Lord.
And then just like the Charizard Pikachu scene was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And also like I love the reference to the first cartoon movie.
Yeah.
Like that Mewtwo is from
Kanto and
yeah. Like, and did you see the oak? Like in one of the scenes, they go into a building that has the words oak on it, and I was like, oh, that's a nice callback to Professor Oak. And my buddy, I was like, oh, Professor Oak. He's like, Robbie, he's not in this city. I was like, quit ruining it, man. It's just a callback.
Quit wrecking this for me, dude.
Just I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and
I think that's fair. I went into it with the expectation of this is going to be a movie my 5-year-old kid is really going to like, and I hope it's decent, you know.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I will say that's safe.
I mean, I don't really have anything else. I just thought it was really good.
I don't know where Shannon went, but
yeah.
let me look at the time real quick so I can have him make a note. All right, 53.
I would really like to hear your take on Rage 2.
Well, I don't know if Shannon needs to come back or should I just go? I mean,
yeah.
I can just go, I guess.
Well, actually, I can talk about a movie I saw.
Okay.
I saw Fighting with the Family.
Yes, the wrestling movie.
Wrestling film written and directed by Stephen Merchant. If you don't know who he is the tall praying mantis looking mother effer that is British. And he just
wasn't he also the voice in Portal 2? Didn't he do the
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But he is a huge wrestling fan in real life.
Oh, really? So
he teamed up with WWE, and he told the story of the wrestler named Paige, and who I don't follow modern wrestling very well, but I don't know if she's even wrestling anymore. But we were told her story and how she comes from Norwich, England, very poor family, but the family loves wrestling. They even have like this backyard wrestling like kind of business that they have, and it tells the story of how this family all lives and breathes wrestling, and it's Paige and her brother Zach, and they both get an opportunity to go try out for WWE, and Zach is the physical specimen, but he just misses like that spark, that I guess the personality aspect of wrestling,
the thing that makes you actually want to watch them.
Yeah, and so what ends up happening? I mean, this is not a spoiler; it's a true story. But Paige gets chosen to move on, and he doesn't. And it's a story of how Paige bobs and weaves through family drama of like he's not really mad at her, and then just the her overcoming all the odds of never really not being the hot model / cheerleader chick, kind of gothic dressing up, and then how she ends up being like she becomes the youngest women's champion in WWE history in her very first match ever on Raw. It was really fun. It was really enjoyable. I laughed a lot more than I expected. Nick Frost may have some range on him that people don't really realize. The big guy from Shaun of the Dead.
And Hot Fuzz.
Yes, and Hot Fuzz. The wrestling stuff was really cool too. Just getting to see that. And then there was just some like really great heartfelt moments. And I don't know who this actress was, but I've never seen her before. But she was really great. And so
is this on Netflix or where'd you watch it?
No, it just came out for DVD like release, so you can rent it now on PSN. It's only like $4 or $5, and you can watch it. But it came out this year, and I wanted to see it, but my theater literally only showed it for a weekend, and I didn't get to watch it. So, but yeah,
interesting. Sounds like something worth checking out.
Yeah, man.
Well, Shannon has left us to go attend to a melting down child, which, I can relate to, and so can Robbie. We've all been there. But I think I'm going to move forward and talk about a little Rage 2. Now, this is a game from id and Bethesda, and it's a sequel to the first Rage, which was... I liked it. It was a good shooter, but it was pretty generic, pretty paint by the numbers. And there are aspects of Rage 2. Now, to be fair, I've played 2 hours of it. I've basically gone through the tutorial and gotten into the real world and and starting to explore a little bit. There are aspects of it that are still there. Like there's pieces of this game that feel very much like a generic id shooter, like the enemy design. When you go through the tutorial and you start taking out the guys that are attacking you, they could have just called this Quake 6. Like, there are seriously moments in where these enemies are attacking where I'm like, didn't I kill you guys in Quake 2? Like, what is this? You know, like, they're just, you just roll these character models back and keep it going, or what? But the interesting part of this is I think it has a much better story already than the first Rage. Essentially, your character has been at this one encampment, and they're in the world of Rage. They're like, an asteroid has hit the planet, and humanity saw it coming, developed these arcs that kept people and animals and plants and everything underground for the asteroid attack. And then after a set amount of time, they relaunch them, they break through the surface, and basically repopulate the Earth with plants, animals, everything else. And there is a group of people that basically don't want that. They wanted to eliminate humanity and remake it in their own image, and they are essentially like android, human, cyborg, hybrid type people, and very generically evil, you know.
Okay.
But the game opens with them attacking your settlement. They lay waste to it. Essentially, you are one of the only survivors left. And that is when you discover that the person that, like, over the course of it, you get what is called a ranger suit, which gives you some more abilities, a little more toughness, a little, just a better weapon, that sort of thing. And you find out, like, the whole story was you weren't allowed to be a ranger in your training. Like, you were trained to be a fighter, but you were never allowed to take that next step to join the elite group, which is the Rangers. And after the commander dies and everything laid waste, you find a recording where the commander is telling you essentially, like, they did that on purpose. Like, you're special, you're kind of the hidden weapon they were going to have in case these people ever came back, and go to the Ark and learn more, essentially. So you go to your Ark, which is, we'll call it a fallout shelter, but it's not. and that's when you learn you have nanites in your blood, and the Arks can enhance you, essentially. So the first enhancement you get is like a dash move.
So would you say they're like plasmids?
A little bit. Yeah, they
I'm
are.
listening.
Yeah, and so you get like a dash move, plasmid, and they'll let you like dodge rockets and get out of situations faster. They've got like a limited use, but it recharges pretty fast. And you go out in the world to find more arcs and more people that have more information to help you fight this new terror, or the returning terror, I should say. And it's kind of, at that point, it's just like, well, go. Like, it gives you the generic, like, I'd go over to that town and talk to that guy, type of thing. And a lot of it's a little fetch questy, but it opens up, and you can kind of just make your way there as you see fit. And if you see things pop up on your map, you can go check them out, and it's usually a firefight or something. But so it's generic in that regard. Like, it's like a real violent Fallout 3, but with less to do in it, for lack of a better term. But it also, when you are shooting, it's real good. Like, that's the thing they've still nailed, is the firefights are real good. Like, when you're dashing around, shooting, jumping, throwing grenades, you get like this, they call it like a blood wing or something like that, but it's essentially a boomerang that you can throw, and it like whips through crowds and like takes out people and comes back to you. It's never not satisfying. It kind of has a little bit of that.
It's like the axe.
Exactly. It's got a little bit of that God of War axe thing, where it's like every time you throw it, you're like, yeah, that was ruled. But see, it's funny. So that is a ability that you can switch up. So as you pick up different grenades, you can cycle through them and try them and all that. I've thrown every type of grenade I found once to go like, oh, what did that do? And then I go right back to that boomerang because like I just have to keep throwing the boomerang basically. Like it's just one of those things where it's so satisfying. Like I haven't found a grenade that's made me replace it yet. It's really good. But the rifles, shotgun's really good. It's a great shotgun. But I just can't keep shaking the feeling that it's like playing a Quake game. Like it feels very Quake-ish. And I, makes sense. It's id, but it's satisfying. It's really fun. I think the bummer here is there was a lot of potential for this to be a really deep game, and I don't think it is. At least I haven't come across it yet.
A lot of the reviews that I've read, gameplay is a lot of fun. It looks very pretty, but it just seems kind of bland in its world, and they don't really like. I haven't read much about the story. I mean, of course, it's me, and so I care about the narrative a lot. But
I mean, it's a cool story. I like the story.
Okay, yeah. So right now, would you say it's looking like, hey, when it comes up used, maybe play it and beat it in 7 days and return it, or
yeah, I would say I would go that route and feel pretty good about it. It's one of those things like it's like a sprinkle of Horizon Zero Dawn is in there, some Fallout is in there, some some Assassin's Creed type stuff is in there. Like it's got it, and it seems like if they just would have really focused and picked one thing and done it really well, or just narrowed it down, but really fleshed out what they were trying to do. It is kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type of game, unfortunately. Yeah. But for someone like me that, I've just been itching to play a good first-person shooter for a while. It's a good first-person shooter. Like running and gunning kicks ass in that game. Like it really does.
And that I won't lie, like that is something that I have been looking for, and also just a new story game. I mean, heck, I'm playing a game that came out in 2012. Yeah. When I found out it was only single player, that got me really excited. But then, the reviews started dropping, and nothing has been like glaringly awful. It's just been kind of like it's a good game. It's just not a great game, and that's perfectly fine for what I'm looking for. But I probably will wait till it's used, so when I do beat it, I can kind of return it quick.
Yeah, so. Like I've seen some comparisons out there to the Mad Max game that came out a few years back, and it's better than that. I mean, it's better than Mad Max. Like it just running better. Like I'm granted I'm playing it on the Xbox One X, but it's rock solid frame rate. Like I haven't noticed any drops. I haven't noticed any weird collisions or anything like that. Like it's a beautiful game. It's
the Mad Max comparison for me was Days Gone. Like Days Gone looked like Mad Max for me. Yeah, like just the game that had some really cool stuff going for it, but it really wasn't gonna set the world on fire. And there were gonna be some people who absolutely loved it, which there was, but then there are gonna be people who are like, this kind of isn't fun. But what I'm anyway, so it seems good, not great right now, but the gameplay seems really fun.
Yeah, the gameplay on that is rock solid, and it's just it's like I was just to repeat myself. It's just I wish they would have fleshed out things a little more as far as maybe systems go or other aspects. Because I mean I'm into the story. I'm into what you're doing. It's just the world is a little bland to do it in. So for Rage, what I was hoping was Rage 2 was going to be the jump from Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2. And it's not. It's the jump from Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed like 1.5. Like there's a lot of stuff they've improved. It's much smoother, just basic interface stuff. But now it's gotten to the point where I can tell that that's probably all they've done Like there's no the big expansive upgrade isn't there. You know,
Are we starting to notice that Bethesda may be a good but not great developer producer right now?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, Fallout 4, some people love it, but
Mhm.
it was universally like, hey, guys, this is just kind of Fallout 3 with a little bit of extra stuff.
Yeah.
You have Dishonored 2, which, people thought were fun, but no one was like, oh, this, they weren't blowing up like Dishonored 1. I mean, and then you have this, you have the Mad Max game. Well, that's not Bethesda. I'm sorry, I apologize. But really, Doom has really just been the only kind of like Bethesda-like game that has blown up.
And I will tell you, playing this game made me really want the new Doom, because it's like the shooting is very similar, and there are moments where, because it does kind of the Doom thing where you drop when you drop guys, they'll drop like health boosts, but they only last a very short time, so you got to kind of be on top of them to get them. And it does the Doom thing where it's kind of like, okay, I'm rounding this corner, I can use my focus to realize there's like 6 dudes here, I know it's 3 of this type and 3 of this type, and I've got this much ammo. Okay, I need to go here, kill that dude, get the health pack off him, run over here, smash this dude in the face with the butt of my gun, grab those, and then I can turn around and blast that guy because I'll have enough stuff at that point. It does have that like puzzle type aspect to it. Not to the depth of Doom though, which is what made Doom so classic for me. But it does do that on a very basic level, which is still satisfying. It's still good.
I stand by the 2016 Doom. It may not be the greatest because the story is serviceable, but just gameplay alone, the 2016 Doom may be the greatest shooter of all time as far as gameplay and like ebb and flow. Like, I mean, what you were just describing was my favorite part of the game, was like how it forced you to be aggressive. Like you could not sit back. Like sitting back was actually a death sentence. Like you had to be aggressive, and the only way to get health was to be aggressive.
It's still, for my mind, it's a great shooter, but it is an amazing puzzle game.
Yes,
like it is.
The challenge rooms and stuff like were so freaking good. Oh my god, give me Eternal right now. Oh
yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for.
I can basically tell my church folk that I'm killing the devil. I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing. So, it's a Christian game, guys.
I'm banishing demons to hell.
It's like Diablo.
Yeah, right. I'm just doing the Lord's work.
Have I ever told y'all that story?
No.
That so Diablo 2 almost cost, like I got straight A's in high school, but Diablo 2 almost cost me my Algebra 2 class. Because I was playing it so late at night. Well, one night my grandmother, she lived with us. She got up and she would get a glass of water. She asked me what I was playing, and I was like, "I'm playing a game called Diablo." And she's like, "Diablo? Doesn't that mean the devil, Robbie?" And I was like, "No, mommy," and that's what we called her, mommy. I was like, "No. In this game, you're killing the devil, so it's a Christian game." And so from that point on. My grandmother would tell people that I was addicted to this game where I was killing demons as a Christian. And it's so great.
Well, I mean, there's nothing that says the barbarian, doesn't go to church on Sundays. I mean,
maybe the wizard is really just casting out verses from the book of Romans. I mean, most of the stuff he conjures is in the book of Revelation anyway. Except for the Venom Hydra. I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean, beasts and backs, and I don't know. It's all in there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the ratio. I see myself going through it because I'm like I said, it's a great shooter. So I'm planning on seeing it to the end. But yeah, that's basically Rage 2. So cool. I know, Shen, you've just been playing more Steam World Quest.
Yeah.
No big updates there?
No, it's still a really fun game to play.
Yeah, that's become my work game. So
yeah, where are you at now? What
that chapter 13 gets balls hard.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Like I hit a battle, I forget what it was against, but I had 3 of the guys that explode, and 2 casters that helped accelerate them. And I'm like, oh, this is probably what Shannon meant. Like this gets real crazy. Like, yeah. And yeah, that's a difficulty spike for sure. Like,
Yeah, dude, the ghosts with the lanterns and the druids with the all poison spell. Like
when you round the corner and you see the druid, it's just like, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. But yeah.
Oh yeah. But well, anyway, so that's I guess it's gonna be our show this week. Robbie had to duck out early. So Shannon got his kid to calm back down, but then right about that time that happened, Robbie's son lost his damn mind. So we've lost Robbie. But it's all right. We were wrapping up anyway. Try to get some sleep, Robbie. And I don't got anything else for this week, Shannon?
No, I don't have anything other than be awesome and dude, just have a chill week.
Yeah. Try to make it a chill week. Gonna be playing some Rage. We'll get some talk going on the Facebook group about that. See who else is playing it with me. And don't think there's anything else big on the horizon. We'll be back next week. And as Robert Steltenpool would tell you, be great.
Bye.
All right.
So
there's an edit point at 53.
Okay.
That you want to look at. It was basically when you left and we were like, do we keep going or do we not keep going?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was just he just let out this like scream that I had never heard before.
No. I figured that was what was happening. But
all right, 53 minutes. All right, cool.
Believe me, I know the oh shit, I gotta go. Like,
yeah,
I know that look, you know.
Yeah, like he headbutted the headboard the other night, so I was just like, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Dude, Evelyn like makes a fucking career out of that. I don't know. Like I'll be laying in my bed, like about to fall asleep, and all of a sudden I'll just hear, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, kid. Like she would have been a straight A student until she fucking cracked her skull open.
I'm like, I just have like a board up on the side with all like the jobs, and then there's like rocket scientist, like physicist, chemist, biologist. We're like all the way down to like garbage truck.
Yeah, totally. Like warehouse sorter. You know?
Yeah, yeah, glue sniffer. Yes,
right.
Thank you. Sign me up. Oh man. All right. Well, dude, I haven't even stopped my Audacity yet. Oops.
Well, you can save that as for Gabe when he gets older.
Yeah, blackmail.
And here's where I thought you were retarded.
Awesome.
Shorter show this week.
Yeah, I was like, man, I hope I get back before they stop, so they're not just like floating there thinking that they have to stay. You know.
I know if we would have. Yeah, and then you'll hear it at the end of the Detective Pikachu thing. Robbie's talking. He's like, I kind of don't have anything else to say.
Well, I pretty much set you guys off to go up on a tangent about Godzilla because I did not like that preview at all.
I can't believe it. Like, I was so like, just take my money. Like,
I don't know. Are
you not a kaiju guy?
No, like I like Pacific Rim. I didn't like the second one too much. It just, I don't know, something about it. Like it just seemed a little like it's like there's all of these kaiju and they're all like gonna mess up everybody. And then there's like Godzilla and he's like our savior, and at the same time it's like we're fighting with him, and then like there's like
I mean I think it was more like, okay, the only chance we have is actually releasing the thing that's worse than all of this, you know. And it's because he's a territorial motherfucker, and it's like, oh, and by the way, we might as well start bombing shit with him because we're all fucked anyway.
And like I don't know, like we should get into a debate as to which monster he fights that's the worst, because Mothra's got to be like the lamest, like like enemy that he fights. I mean, even in the trailer, like that
Yeah.
Mothra gets blasted pretty
Right,
fast.
totally. I mean, it's a giant moth, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's all right. But but I thought it was sick, that one part where like the dragon's flying like close to land. You see just like the fucking nuclear wake behind it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, like there were some aspects of it. It's just the whole like, how can we put a brand new spin on Godzilla? Like, you know, it's like they've tried it 3 times, or this will be the 3rd time. Like the first time it was, they made him look more lizard-like. The second time, or the last time with Bryan Cranston, they killed off all the A-list actors, so like everybody else had to pretty much struggle through that movie. Like, and then, you know, like you were saying, there's only like 12 minutes of actual Godzilla in it. Like this one, it just kind of seems like they're going more Pacific Rim style, and they're just like, let's give them some superpowers, and like let's have them fight like other kaiju, and like give them superpowers too, and we'll see what happens. And you know,
I'm here for it. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh man, but you bag on me for Final Fantasy VII.
Well, because that sucks. But
oh man. All right, so mine is here. I should probably go to Dropbox and make sure that you guys have enough space.
Yeah, you can clear out episode 51 out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. All right.
I called this one episode 53 for some reason. But...
Okay, you're looking into the future.
Right.
All right. Well, I gotta go. Move Gabriel back to his crib.
Okay. We'll get it up.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Bye.